Hi, my name is Annie Griebie, and I've been working this summer with Dr. Immelman in the psychology department through his research program in the psychology of politics titled The Unit for the Study of Personality in Politics. One of our main projects this summer has been a follow-up study of the 2016 personality profile of then presidential candidate Donald Trump. This summer, Dr. Immelman and I co-authored a paper titled The Personality Profile and Leadership Style of U.S. President Donald J. Trump in Office, which we presented at the 43rd Annual Scientific Meeting of the International Society of Political Psychology on July 16, 2020. This paper presents the results of an indirect assessment from the conceptual perspective of personologist Theodore Millon based on personality dynamics revealed by Trump's political behavior in office. The data we collected was synthesized into a personality profile using the method of profiling Dr. Immelman created based on Theodore Millon's theory of personality. His tool, titled the Millon Inventory of Diagnostic Criteria, the MIDC, provides a comprehensive review of Millon's personological model and encompasses 8 attribute domains of behavior. Attribute A is expressive behavior, which is how the person typically appears to others. Attribute B is interpersonal conduct, which is how the individual usually interacts with other people. Attribute C is cognitive style, which is how the person thinks. Attribute D is the individual's typical mood. And finally, attribute E is the person's self-image, which is how the person views themselves. Using this method, once you determine the primary personality traits for an individual, you can also infer their regulatory mechanisms, object representations, and morphologic organization, but these last 3 attribute domains are left out of the assessment because they are difficult to assess from a distance and instead can be inferred. This model divides personality into 10 scales. Each scale is further broken down into 2 or 3 subcategories that span the possible manifestations from a normal adaptive variant at level A to a more extreme and likely maladaptive variant at level C. When these 10 scales are combined with the different attribute domains, the tool yields 34 normal and maladaptive personality classifications. In our study, psychodiagnostically relevant data were collected from biographical sources and media reports of Trump's post-inaugural political behavior from his inauguration in 2017 until July 2020. Based on the amount and quality of the psychodiagnostic data we collected, we categorized each item in the MIDC on a spectrum from negative to affirmative, with affirmative being a present item. The total affirmative and equivocal affirmative designations for each scale was totaled to yield a final scoresheet profile for Donald Trump as president. We found the most affirmative data for the attribute domain of expressive behavior, followed by interpersonal conduct. This pattern is consistent with past studies and to be expected because media reports are most likely to comment on the ways an individual interacts with the reporter or interacts with others. The second table shows a breakdown of President Trump's scale totals and emphasizes the difference between the present affirmative designations in the lower bound column and the possible equivocal affirmative designations in the upper bound column. Our goal using the MIDC is to find out what the primary personality patterns are for the individual using biographical information. Once those patterns are established, we use those to better understand the person and how the person might react in certain situations. As President Donald Trump's primary personality patterns were revealed to be elevated levels of the Scale 1A dominant, Scale 2 ambitious, and Scale 3 outgoing patterns infused with secondary features of the Scale 1B dauntless pattern. As President Donald Trump also began exhibiting some Scale 9 distrusting and Scale 10 erratic behavior. This graph is helpful in understanding how Trump's primary and secondary personality patterns manifest themselves during his time in office. The line with closed circles represents the affirmative scale totals, and the line with diamonds represents the equivocal affirmative scale totals. You can see President Trump's primary personality patterns are present within the prominent level. There is equivocal evidence of all three of his primary patterns existing at the mildly disturbed level. As a world leader, President Trump's primary ambitious personality pattern is reflected in his tendency to be bold, competitive, and optimistic in the face of adversity. His primary ambitious pattern has allowed him to easily assume his role as president and has helped him to be an effective leader. He is self-assured and expects others to recognize his special qualities, which is often viewed by others as narcissistic. His dominant personality is revealed in forceful behavior. This trait has aided his leadership potential, as he is a direct and aggressive figurehead who is able to remain confident and successful in pursuing his goals. He often appears unsentimental due to his tough nature. President Trump's outgoing personality pattern allows him to effectively engage his base and remain at the center of media attention, but his extroversion can lead him to act impulsively. Trump's executive leadership style in office has also been influenced by a secondary dauntless pattern. Throughout his presidency, he has disliked following routine, retained a strong need for independence, and consistently defied many presidential expectations while seeking to serve in his own unique way. Trump's incumbency has also revealed possible moments of distrustful and erratic tendencies. The potential for distrusting traits is manifest in his defensiveness and resistance to external control. His possible erratic pattern is evidenced by impulsiveness and occasionally rash expressive behavior. Personality refers to the temporally stable and cross-situationally consistent ways people think, act, feel, and relate to others in the social world. This means each individual's unique personality will consistently and predictably guide their perception and interaction with the world around them. Behavior is the function of the person interacting with the situation, so at times a specific situation may exert more influence upon an individual's behavior than their underlying personality traits. Thus, an individual's personality is more consistent across their lifespan rather than in different situations, and trait stability actually increases across the lifespan. So, because Donald Trump is 74 years old, we can expect his personality traits to be very stable, which is conducive to predicting his leadership style and behavior. Based on this fact, we compared Donald Trump's pre-inaugural personality profile to his post-inaugural profile. Our comparison revealed a high degree of consistency between Trump's pre- and post-inaugural profiles. The largest difference between the profiles was equivocal evidence of incipient, distrusting, and erratic tendencies emerging during Trump's time in office. Before Donald Trump's inauguration in 2017, Dr. Immelman published a paper on Digital Commons predicting the impending leadership style of President Trump based on his 2016 personality profile. In our paper this summer, we provided direct evidence from our comprehensive dataset of extractions that showed these leadership style predictions manifest in Trump's presidency. The consistency between the 2016 and 2020 profiles, as well as the abundance of data confirming Trump's predicted leadership style, provides evidence for the usefulness of personality profiling as a predictive tool in assessing leadership potential and decision-making. In conclusion, ambitious individuals are competitive and easily assume leadership roles. Dominant people enjoy power. Outgoing individuals are dramatic, easily bored, and love to be the center of attention. And finally, dauntless individuals dislike routine and are inclined to irresponsibility. As president, Trump's leadership style has been a combination of these traits. His personality has shaped his presidency to be bold and self-assured, tough and directive, impulsive, undisciplined, and tradition-defying. The full-text research paper associated with this presentation, Donald Trump's pre-inaugural assessment and leadership style, can all be found on the CSV SJU Digital Commons and on the Unit for the Study of Personality in Politics website if you're interested in learning more about this study. Thank you.